Welcome back to Spitballin Cards. In today's video, we're talking about how you can enjoy the hobby on a budget. In this particular video, you have me, Scott, we have Phil, we have Jeff, and we have Ty. Thanks for joining, everybody. So we talked about last episode. It's probably Tuesday. It's either a Thursday or a Sunday, depends on how many videos you record. But we talked about wax prices kind of pricing out a lot of the people. And people are feeling stressed because it's too expensive to enjoy sports cards the way they used to. So if you're new to the hobby or if you're just feeling that way, we're going to do our best in this video to talk about what we do to enjoy the hobby without spending over our budget, whatever that budget is going to be. So without further ado, I want to turn the time over to Jeff. I started with you last time on the negative stuff. I want to start with you on the positive stuff, Jeff. How do you enjoy the hobby on a budget?
Yeah, I have a couple things to say about that. I don't have the supply that Phil does, but you can see behind me, I love wax, and I love it. Part of the way I engage with the hobby was not opening wax necessarily, but buying wax to keep. But I've gotten a little bit priced out of that. So that's kind of a secondary way that I participate in the hobby now. And I still look for big cards. I still love trading into big cards. But I also do like to look at cards on a budget. And what I have started to do is collect my favorite brewer cards, especially relics, game-used relics, cards from specific moments, from specific big games in brewer history. And I have a binder. So this is the first binder I've had in many years since I got back into collecting. I used to collect cards as a kid in binders, and it's been fun to do that now. So that's one big way that I do. And then I've also started a couple other little side collections of interesting cards, funny hat and headwear cards, a collection like that. So there's ways for me to feel like I can still buy cards. Oh yeah, look at that. Scotty's pulling up some right there. That you can get cards that I never imagined even existed when I was a kid, and just getting, well, what we called commons then, but now they're really just base cards. But now you see you can get part of a uniform, a game worn uniform. And so, yeah, that's one way that I really have enjoyed collecting. And you can find eBay is a great way to do that. And part of it is because there's just so many cards on eBay that if you're patient, you can wait and find some really good deals. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, you can get I know I changed from Robin Yount. I didn't know his market very well. I know some cards that Todd Helton has available because I'm watching them. Here's a cool, 2003 Fleer Patchworks. They used to give more liberally with their patch cards back then because they didn't understand how expensive it would become with all the sets they had. Here's a sick Rockies patch. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 colors for $20. That's a cool card. And you put that into a binder or you have that in your collection, and it's fun to look at. And realistically, nowadays, you would never get an authentic game-worn patch for $20 like this out of a modern set, right? So yeah. I do agree that is absolutely a great way to go. Phil, how do you enjoy the hobby on a budget?
One of the things I do is I like to collect black parallels. So Paul Skeens is obviously the top guy in Update. And you think oh, it's one of the best cards in Update. What do these things sell for? Well, only about $500 right now, which is a lot. So I've also got another pitcher who's not as desirable right now, and that's Bobby Miller. So you can get black parallel rookie cards. One of the original parallels from Flagship Series 1, Series 2, and Update will have these. And I mean, most players' rookies are going to be under $100. So, and they have legacy, and you can go back and you can collect some of the players from the early 2000s, even if they're not rookie cards. Juan Soto has a card in a Yankees uniform in Update, and try to buy it, but I wasn't able to yet. That's about $40. So collecting a whole player's run in black, not something I've tried to do yet, but it's something you definitely could do. Another thing I do is I like to buy unique wax products. And this is one of the pickups recently that I'm a little proud of. These are hanger boxes from random years of Update. Oh, cool. So we've got 2012 Topps Update. This has the Harper rookie debut, pretty sought after card because he didn't really have a mass-produced pack-issued card from Series 2, just the short print. And then we've got 2013 Topps Update. This was like $18 plus shipping. Then I've got 2014 Topps Update. So
I like how you're moving it like it's a refractor.
Yeah. Sorry. If you don't like the hobby box prices of today, you can get some older stuff. And like Jeff said, you can keep it sealed. You can open it, probably take a bath, but it'll be really fun to go back in time. 2022 Topps update. Hangers of that were pretty loaded. Hobby box is pretty good. Scott, go ahead.
I want to say there is a Mookie Betts Platinum 1 of 1 in that 2014 hanger box right there. Has never been seen, and it's sitting in that box, Phil. Open it. That's all. Keep going.
Jumbo boxes of 14 update. There's so many still out there. You can get those from Blowout right now for, I think, $500 or less. That's a jumbo. That might have the Platinum of Mookie. But there's been a lot of Platinums being pulled from retail. So we saw
there have been.
One of my buddies, Ped's card collection, he pulled the Skeens 1 of 1 Platinum. It's like foil. It's got the foil finish this year on it. Pulled that from a blaster. The Wander came from a blaster from 22 Top Series 1, and at least one other meaningful card. Maybe the J-Rod or Wit. Probably J-Rod came from a blaster. So, yeah, there's other things you can do. If you're looking to, flip some cards and make some money, COMC is a great outlet for doing so.
Great place.
I used to try to use eBay a lot for quick flips, and then the whole authentication program rolled out for cards of a certain dollar amount that made it harder for me to get the cards quicker. But COMC is a place where if you're trying to speculate on a player, it's like the 7th or 8th inning. Spencer Strider's got a no-hitter going. That can be a place to quickly flip cards if you're looking to make a little bit of money. And it's a good way to monetize what you open. You can send some low-value cards there and find some unique cards as well for your collection.
I want to show COMC real quick to give you an idea of what even this is, because there are some that don't know. But here's my username, right? Rocky's Cards 28. If I go in here, I can look at what I've purchased recently. You can find, I found a really great, just barely, Rapper Redemption Blue Slate from 2013 Topps with Paul Goldschmidt for $9.95. I found a sweet Chrome Gold Minted for $20. You can find really random rare stuff. Here's a Venezuelan Billy Butler. But you get the idea of like the type of cards you can find here. And I have had times where I found deep in a Mookie Betts search a Cherry Blossom from the first year of Topps Japan. Bought it for $5. I listed it that same day for like $15. Sold instantly. And so you can find some stuff hidden deep down that's been passed on that actually is a good price. And then if you relist it, it'll go right back to the top of the search and you can sell it. And it's a lot of fun that way too. So also send all the stuff that's worth like $5 to $10 to COMC, sell all of it that you don't care about and buy stuff you do care about. It's a great way to enjoy the hobby too. Because if you've opened boxes, you have boxes worth $2 to $10, tons of cards. You can send those here and sell all of them. Maybe take a little bit less than they're worth, to be honest, but then you can buy really great PC cards. So I've also done that before with COMC. How about you, Ty? How do you enjoy the hobby on a budget?
I like budget collecting. In fact, like a lot of because I like a wide variety of different things, it makes it easier for me to collect lower dollar items. And I'm able to kind of separate what I think is more just long-term, specifically investment pieces. And sometimes it's stuff I really like, but with the idea that it's going to go up in value over time. And then I collect a lot of other kind of more niche stuff. So, I mean, a lot of that kind of just comes down to finding something that you're interested in. It might be your favorite team, singularly your favorite player. It could be, a myriad of different players. If you're just like a fan of the sport and you like collecting one of every best pitcher or different things like that. One thing I like to do is go rainbow chasing. And this whole stack is me chasing after Jack Flaherty's Tigers uniform stuff this year. I just got his clear numbered to 10, which was a big pickup. And I'm just realizing he has a massive scratch and gouge on the back of it, which is fantastic. I just opened this right before we started this hit record, and I didn't even see that until now. But, that's fun. And like most of these are not very expensive at all. So kind of going after that entire rainbow and getting them into a binder or displayed somewhere is a lot of fun. I also collect color match cards. I've gotten really into color matches. You're being highly disruptive.
My microphone fell. What can you do?
Not knock it over.
Mute it while you fix it.
Hey, you guys are being mean. Keep this in there so you can see how you abuse me.
So Scott, if you can let your dad know that I'm let his friend John Stockton know that I'm a fan. I have I've been going after like John Stockton Prism Purple parallels from different years. So that's fun. And those aren't definitely aren't terribly expensive either. Many of our viewers know I obviously love Stadium Club, as do a few of us on this show. And I was able to scoop a lot of image variations before those things really took off. But even like the rainbow foils to 25, I think look really nice. The chrome refractors look really nice. And another thing you can do is just go after like refractor runs. You kind of alluded to that, Phil, but even more budget than like a black flagship is just refractors. If you just want to go back. So I have like a Randy Johnson refractor run and an Albert Pujols refractor run. And those are kind of cool to have in a binder. And then a few other websites I'll pop up and kind of show too. I'll give a shout out to my buddy Connor, who started buysportscards.com. And it's similar to COMC. They have pictures and prices of all these different cards. So I typed in Billy Butler to keep Scott's attention while I talk. There's another site called Sport Lots, which is like very old school. Believe it or not, this is their freshly updated website. You should have seen it before. It made trading card database look ultra modern. But this is kind of like COMC, except that you get a box. So you buy from sellers and then you can like bulk ship them to a box, which is sort of like the COMC vault, which is on premise, obviously, for them. And then eventually you can request shipment directly from that box. My card post is a free to use to buy cards, and there's no seller fees. The way that Mark, who runs this website, set it up is it is subscription based for sellers. So you can sign up for a subscription to be allowed to sell, and it's very trust based, somewhat kind of like how MySlabs started, or maybe still is, just like they kind of have a strict policy of like have integrity and you'll get kicked off if you do shady things. And then Veriswap is obviously one that's become really popular for secure trading, and this tends to be more for high dollar items, but just some other websites that tend to be good for maybe more budget purposes, if that's what you're kind of after.
Nice.
Sick.
Patty, what about you?
So I just like to find cards I think are cool and maybe undervalued, and then hopefully they appreciate. And if they do, that's great. So like, here's an example of a card I think is cool. Not a huge Cosmic Chrome guy, but this is a Mookie Judge Harper triple numbered to 50. It's like has like this really cool shine to it and stuff. Paid like $20 for it. That's pretty cool. Cheaper than a blaster. This is one of my favorite sets ever. I don't think you all feel the same, and that's fine. But Prize Performers of Joey Votto numbered to 50. It's a Chrome for $3, right? You can find stuff like this out there that just looks incredible in a binder. Here's a Gallery of Heroes Mookie stained glass from Archives, super rare card. You know, they're not around anymore, but that was like $30. But then what I actually have done, so this whole binder is just full of cards like that are anywhere from $5 to $100. But then I've actually gone out and I've completed sets, but I've done it in a unique way. So here is my 2011 Finest, and I have all the different parallels from Superfractors to out of 5 to out of 50, like out of reds, out of 25, where I completed the whole set because I like the way they look and I think they're great. And it wasn't that expensive. I love 2011 sets. And so I have like gold Ichiros and printing plates, random players, but the goal was to get just a really cool assortment of all of those players. And it wasn't super expensive. Some of the more rare stuff was of some of the higher players. But like I have a Jeter base card in here out of 549. That was the refractor. So I'd love to upgrade that. And they're expensive now, but you can find sets like that.
That's
whether
cool.
it's
Scott, let me interrupt you there. So you collected the whole set and just you just got, instead of getting a base card of everyone, though, you just got a parallel of
a random parallel. So like here's an example
Yeah.
of there's a printing plate of Dan Uggla up there. This page also has a gold Matt Kemp, a atomic out of 10 Brian McCann. The next page has a Superfractor of David Price with a green Ichiro, a atomic out of 10 of Giancarlo Stanton, a green Holiday, an orange Ortiz. So like it's stuff like that, where every single refractor was numbered, which is why I liked it.
That's
and
cool.
so I'll upgrade it if I see if it makes sense. But don't do that for this set. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like you can go collect sets for fun and do something similar, whether it's Finest, whether it's, if you like Cosmic, who cares if Scott Baldwin doesn't like Cosmic? Go like Cosmic and
Nobody.
collect the whole set. And it would look great, right? But that's my point, is like go find something and it'll be fun. But like here's my Josh Hamilton out of 5. The purples are really cool.
Oh yeah.
Right next to it's a Mauer gold out of 50 and a Fielder gold out of 50. You get the idea. So that's been fun for me. And then obviously player collecting. Go find a player you are connected to that you liked as a kid. If I was going to do basketball, I would probably do Ronnie Brewer. I loved Ronnie Brewer as a kid. Loved Ronnie Brewer for the Jazz. And I would collect all of his random stuff, right? That's what I would do. But I do that for Billy Butler now. And even Paul Goldschmidt, because he's not that expensive compared to other players. I like him. Don't do it because I like him. But that's how I have fun on a cheaper end. And sometimes those cards are more fun to get in than really like investment pieces, if I'm being fully transparent with you. So that's like I have a bunch of these binders just around that it's fun to look at too. That's also why I enjoy it. Is have them in binders so you can look at them and enjoy them, and they're accessible. And who cares if they maybe get a corner ding? Like, just have fun with them.
Yeah, and another thing that I do. So Pokemon as a kid, we talked about a little bit about Pokemon in the last episode. Maybe I'm not supposed to bring it up again, but I was in like the 6th, 7th, maybe 8th grade when the Game Boy game came out, and maybe because it wasn't a whole lot like Zelda and it was pretty easy for non-rocket scientist brain to figure out. I really liked Pokemon, and then I started to buy the cards a little bit, and I worked at this like summer recreation camp, and a lot of the other like younger kids. I was a counselor in training at the time. I think I might have been like 8th grade at the time, and a lot of the kids are bringing the cards, and then I found a place that had them, and I bought some too. Anyways, these first edition Pokemon cards. Geez, how do I do this? Not like this.
I don't know.
First edition Pokemon cards, right, with a first edition stamp here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is from the 1999 WotC Wizard of the Coast set, English base set, first edition. I don't know how many they printed, like 10,000 of each of these. So these cards, even the holofoils in lower grades, at worst, like a few $100, I think. They really haven't appreciated much over the last 2 years. So while all the buzz is on Pokemon, like this stuff, like I've got a Hitmonchan.
Anything not named Charizard, relatively affordable, to be honest.
Yeah, and you can get the non-holos. There was like, I think, a Red Cheeks Pikachu variation that's pretty common and not too expensive. Got a Blastoise here, PSA 6. This one was a little bit more expensive, but yeah, like something I have an emotional connection to. I don't plan to sell many of these anytime soon, and pretty cool and not too expensive and very set oriented if you want to collect all of the, well, maybe you don't want to collect the energies or anything, but all of the characters outside from that or whatever you want to do.
Phil, you and I both, I have all my old Pokemon games still. I have every single Pokemon game ever made, and I think they're great. But like I could go get one of my favorites is Kabutops from back in the day, the fossil Pokemon. I can get his first edition PSA 7 from the fossil set for $50. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the fossil, the jungle stuff, even cheaper than the base set stuff that I just showed.
Here, you can also, if you get really nerdy, you can find really random cool cards like this. I paid $20 for it on auction. It's man, that's hard to see. 2015 Mookie Betts. It has a dime and a stamp from the year he was born. Random insert that Topps made. It's numbered to 50. It's a PSA 6. I got it for $20. It's a unique random card. May never have a ton of value. Maybe it will. But stuff like that. It's fun. So just branch out and buy cards that are cheap and cool. And because a lot of times those cards, if they're cool, other people will think they're cool, and they usually go up a little bit. That's another reason why I think it's not bad. Am I still frozen?
You're pixelated.
As long as you can hear me, it's all that matters. No one wants to see me anyways.
I don't usually look at you anyway.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Okay. All right. Anybody else want to add anything?
So this isn't related to the topic, and nobody that tuned into this wants to hear this, but I have a friend, his name's Tyler, and he found a way from the ground floor as probably a 18-year-old kid to start a Facebook group, and it's now one of the most successful Bowman Chrome oriented Facebook groups, and it's called, I just added up, Bowman Chrome buy, sell, trade, rip, claim, something like that. It's got 11,000 members, and he's found a way to hustle and build a little gathering from nothing. And it's a great place to buy and sell stuff. And it's cool. And I'll probably edit this out because it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Let me edit that out.
No, it does. It does. Phil, don't edit that out because it does matter because he's able to enjoy the hobby in a different way. Find a group of people you like to talk with. We have a Spitballin cards chat that we talk to all the time. That makes cards more fun. So It does matter.
I'm
Okay.
applying right now to the group, Phil.
I mean, it's not that good.
I turned my camera off because it was bad anyways. I pay so much money for internet and it's just terrible. Every night at this time. I go, must get busy or something. I don't know. So with that being said, any final thoughts on this episode? How else are we enjoying the hobby? Anybody else have anything they want to add, or are we feeling pretty good about it?
You can watch Whatnot, other people's breaks that you can't afford.
I do that all the time. I was taking down my Halloween villages. Now I know it's way past, and I was watching Cardsmith breaks. I love Cardsmith breaks. It was a mixer from like 5 years ago, where it's like all these high end sets. Like the breakers, think they're cool guys. And that was fun. It got the itch of that guy got. You had nothing good pulled out of those high end $5,000 boxes. So it's always fun to do that. Live vicariously through others. All right.
I love living vicariously.
Vicariously.
Oh, my bad. That too, yeah.
Phil, but we do know you live vicariously, and we love you. We love you regardless of who you are, Phil. You be you, buddy. All right. Any final thoughts? There's one way you should enjoy the hobby. Do not buy Wander Franco cards. That's my advice. The reason I say that, on PWCC, I believe there's like a Wander Franco PSA 10 that's still like over $100. I'm like, guys, stop spending money this way. That's a bad way to spend your money.
But on that note, do buy Wander Franco cards. 22 Topps Chrome Cosmic Chrome is cheaper than 24 Cosmic Chrome, although it was printed at like roughly 1/3 the amount. You can get 22. Oh, wow. My friend picked it up at a show at under $400. You're probably going to pay around 400. And right now, 24 Cosmic is like 450, 440 right now. So the 22 Topps Cosmic Chrome has that Youth Invasion case hit of Wander. So
it goes for a lot. And you also have a chance at Bobby Witt and Julio. Those aren't bad consolation prizes, right, Phil?
Absolutely. That's the main chase, obviously.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Let us in the comments down below how you enjoy the hobby on a budget, what you do so you don't feel left out when people are spending all these tens of thousands of dollars. And we will see you in the next video.